something a little different. Remember the crop circles? Whatever happened to those? What were they? Let's find out. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So the other day I was doing a short out of the blue about crop circles because it came into mind, like, whatever happened to those. So we're going to go in and do a quick review on what they are, where where did they appear, and whatever happened to them. It's a very mysterious phenomenon and very intricate, from very simple to very intricate. I'll review a couple of the theories that people have as to what these might be. As usual, I want to thank Earl Campbell's Red Hot Links for feeding me in the leanest of times.
So what were crop circles? There were circles and figures that would show up in different fields, and most of the time they were in some design. As you can see, this one is pretty simple, but they got a little more complex. Some were very intricate, and some just were, off the charts. So what were they? Well, the explanations go from aliens, from wind. Yeah, some people said that the wind could create something like this. They said it was hoaxers. They said it was animals, you name it. They threw out all kinds of theories. So there were, of course, a lot of questions. This became very popular in the 80s and the 90s, and throughout, I think probably through the 2000s. These crop circles and the news of them and the popularity of them kind of gripped people, kind of the way that the whole UFO thing is resurging right now. Of course, people wanted answers. People wanted answers from authorities. They wanted investigations done, and so on and so forth. And naturally, it was heavily dismissed as being hoaxers or copycats, and until 1991, when they actually found two hoaxers that authorities were able to arrest and kind of push it aside, and then declare all of these either hoaxers of these two gentlemen that supposedly did something like this with rope and planks. You believe what you want. But after they came out, and a couple other copycats came out, all the authorities and experts just deferred to it as being a hoax, and so that was kind of quickly forgotten. Funny how that happens, right? But they missed a few points, and somehow this was never answered. So let's take a look at Wikipedia real quick. According to them, these two self-professed pranksters, Doug Bauer and Dave Chorley, claimed that they were the ones doing all these crop circles, and they did one in front of some journalists to prove that it was them. These were usually happening at night, very quietly, because nobody ever, until they came out and said, well, come out and watch us do it, nobody ever would catch them, right? Nobody ever catch people doing those out in the fields in the middle of the night. They would show up in the morning, right? And so the people that had attempted to do something like I think it was down in Hungary, I think it was, they ended up destroying crops and things like that, and they were caught because they were trying to get their 15 minutes of fame, I guess. But what they don't explain is that crop circles have been around for a long time. The first few incidents on record go all the way back to the 1600s, and these can be found in over 29 different countries around the world. So does that mean these two guys had a large budget? Old Doug and Dave were globetrotting around with their ropes and their planks, making crop circles? Really? Really? I don't think so. So the last time something was reported of this was like in early 2000s. But I'll leave that for you to decide whether or not you think it's just a couple of guys with ropes and planks making intricate designs in the middle of the night without anybody seeing them, or maybe something more. Who knows? But again, the official line, of course, is that there was hoaxers. It's all blamed on the hoaxers. All blamed on these hoaxers and on copycats. And of course, some experts come out and say, well, you know, it was close to a road, so that's why the guy had access to it. But it's funny that a lot of times there was no tracks going to the formation. But either way, they always defer to that, and so it was forgotten. It was forgotten until somebody like me or other people that I've seen online bring it back up again. Kind of like the UFO things. All of a sudden now, UFOs and aliens and the official authorities are coming out and saying that, yeah, you know, aliens. Well, where was the official news coming out in the 50s and 60s, and when all the sightings were happening back then, and all these decades before, all the times that there were UFO sightings that were dismissed as swamp gas and lens flare and who knows what else. Interestingly, I've come to notice that most of the time when authorities and experts come out against a story, especially if they come out strongly against a story, 9 times out of 10, the story is probably true.